In this video, we will be discussing how to build a chatbot, a voice assistant, workflow automation, an AI form feature, and we will create a portal where you can access all of these things. And we will be building that using VectorShift. VectorShift is the no-code AI automation platform. And if you are an AI agency, I believe this is a must-have tool. I have already made 2 videos on VectorShift on this channel, and we have covered most of the basics. But all the stuff that we are going to build today is latest updates. They have been doing a wonderful job in the past month. I have seen it improve a lot. New features almost every other week. Like I said, voice bots. They introduce portals. They introduce forms. So they have both no code and code SDK. They have a marketplace. We can build agents. There is a search through your entire database. And as you can see, excellent integrations and automations natively available. Some of the best and most widely used applications there. And many large language models than you can usually see on other providers. And you can create, like I said, voice assistants, chatbot, workflow automation, basically anything you want to build and offer at your AI agency can be done with VectorShift. And you can give it a read. This is a really good website that covers basically everything that they can do. You can go through docs, tutorials, and their Discord if you need any additional help. One great thing that I love about VectorShift is it's super affordable compared to other providers. For example, to do just this in a platform like Stack AI would cost you $200 a month. So that is what 10x expensive. So that's why it's have been amazing as an internal chatbot for a while now. I've been using VectorShift for fulfilling my clients for internal purposes. For client-facing one, I was mainly using VoiceFlow, but with all the features that they have been implementing, it is no longer that internal, focused on dealing with large databases and that stuff. It can be an excellent client-facing one. All of the tutorials that we will do today is focused towards that. And if for those of you who are wondering what about the security and compliance, as you can see, there are SOC 2 Type 2, HIPAA compliance, and GDPR compliant as well. So if this is one of the questions that I get a lot from my community members that are in EU. They want to know whether all of these apps that I'm suggesting, whether they are GDPR compliant. I usually have to go through a lot of steps to find that out, but this is great. And you can read what are the security measures they've been implementing in this solution. So without further ado, let's get started. If you don't have an account, you need to click get started. Since I already have an account, I will be logging in. When you log in, this is the screen that you would see. You have the pipelines. This is the marketplace. Let's start one by one. Pipeline is what makes the absolute basic, or this is where everything starts. What do I mean by that? Is if you go to, let's say, LiveSync chatbot, one that I built in my previous tutorial, is you can see this is what we call a pipeline. If you export this, you can set export as automation, as a chatbot, as a search, as a form. You can do this as a voice bot also. So that is what I mean by pipelines being the basic, or the building blocks of everything. Now you can do a lot of stuff. Like I said, let's explore what else we have on the dashboard. We have marketplace. This marketplace is, a treasure trove of templates. A lot of really useful templates sorted by tags, sorted by apps that you can integrate with. And this is for productivity. This is for Discord, and there is the ones that have Slack tags in it, Google Docs, Gmail, tagged as productivity. So these templates are made by a combination of voice VectorShift employees or third party or users, customers in general. They can add templates too. So this is an excellent place if you are just getting started and you don't know where to start. This is the place to go. And we have knowledge base. Knowledge base is what I love about VectorShift's knowledge base is you can reuse the files, we can reuse the integrations, we can reuse an actual knowledge base that is created once over and over again. Right now, I think I deleted this Airtable database. It's not available any longer, but maybe it does. So as you can see, we have a rescrape frequency. For example, this is what I create. If you are creating a customer service chatbot, let's say, you can create a knowledge base, and within the knowledge base you can upload files, you can choose to add integration, you can scrape URL. Within the scrape URL, there is a way to scrape one URL, which is if you it will just scrape the home page, but you can also scrape recursive URL, and you can crawl up to 800 max URL. So this is an optional field, but at max at one time you can only crawl 800. Most times if 800 is more than enough, because even for the bigger sites, the sitemap is usually broken into 5 to 6 different sub sitemaps, which doesn't exceed more than 800, at least from my experience. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've seen some e-commerce stores that have a ton of info. Usually that's a bad way to copy, try and scrape everything, which doesn't make sense. Usually we would process that data, move it to a database like Supabase or Airtable, and then use that as an integration or the data loader. But that's a topic for another day. For URL, like I said, if we do a recursive, as you can see, the vectors is scraping the whole site, and this is just the page. And you can set rescrape frequency, never, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. And as you can see, there are, for some integrations, you can go as low as a quarter hourly if needed. So yeah, it depends on which type of resource that you are adding to the knowledge base also. So for files, any file that you upload, PDF, JPEG, video, audio, all of these files will go here into the files section. We have automations, we have chatbots. Again, pipeline will be pipeline will be the base or something that is powering this chatbot. If you look at the live sync chatbot that we looked at previously, once it becomes a chatbot, there are different embed options, there are different message senders where we can set the bot name and stuff. So it is the input and output is still being powered by pipeline. There is nothing changing, but you can, based on what you select here, and you can add a disclaimer, message limit, allow stop generation, keep chat open. So a lot of customization you could do here in terms of styling, in terms of adding logos or whatever. So for search, you can add a organization-wide search. I mean, you can add your SharePoint, you can add your Google Drive, you can add your box, you can do a lot of, you can integrate your Zendesk, you can integrate so really forming that organization-wide database or a search engine that can go through the whole organization is super powerful. And when it's being powered by AI, possibilities are, limitless. We have a form feature which we will discuss today. We have voice bots. We have bulk jobs, which in beta we won't be covering that now. We have portals. So we will cover chatbots, we will cover voice bots, we will create a portal for them. We will also make a form. So without further ado, let's get started. I don't want to use a template because this is more of a beginner tutorial. I want to create one from scratch. And when you hit create, you will see something interesting. This is mostly what you have seen previously, but they will let you, sort by, okay, whether that's what productivity, or is it you want just productivity, and you want content creation one, and let's say Gmail integrations, you can go to Discord, you can select Slack. So yeah, you can, at every step of the way they are trying to make your life so easy, and that is really great. Let's create a pipeline from scratch. So in VectorShift, the basic two blocks or two nodes that you would need is an input node and an output node. For this tutorial, we would be building solutions mainly for an e-commerce store. That's what I've been doing. When I started, I did an e-commerce. First tutorial was not e-commerce store, but the second one is a live sync order tracking chatbot. So when we do that, let's call this customer service chatbot, and let's get started. We have input and output, right? For this chatbot, let's leave it at text input, although there are multiple ways. It can be text, it can be file, you can upload an image if you feel like. There is an audio format which we will be using it for, voice assistant. For this example, let's just use this formatting. We have input, we have output, and then we need a knowledge base. So knowledge base node, and in the knowledge base node, I want to create a new knowledge base. You can select existing ones that are, like I said, reusable, in a sense that you can add Airtable demo, AIGC, or whatever knowledge base you create in any pipeline, in any chatbot. So let me create a new knowledge base. I am calling this ecom, and chunk size okay, it is short anyway. It is not really, usually in real life you might have to increase the chunk a little bit. Processing model default is good. For embeddings, I will use 3 large for this use case, and let's create. And once created, we will have a few different options. Let's start with one by one. I have created for this example a company knowledge base doc, a frequently asked questions doc, and there is an order tracking Excel file or Google Sheet, and there is a product recommendation. So what I would do now is I will export each of these individually to show you if we are replacing this with an actual website. You have seen how to import URLs, right? You can do recursive URLs, you can do individual URLs. So for this example, to just show you that different files are compatible, I would be downloading these in a different formats. For example, I will download this in a Microsoft Excel format, and this one I will download this in a CSV format. So right now we have downloaded 4 different types of files, and I will choose or upload files, I will browse files, and I will download all the four that we have selected. And as you can see, it doesn't matter if that's a sheet, if it's an Excel or CSV or a docs or a PDF. It works with everything. And I think this is enough. I don't want to add any URLs to this because this is a fictional company, and we want to get this done as soon as possible. As you can see, we have successfully synced it. There is no way to add rescrape frequency because text files doesn't change. If it's a URL or Google Doc URL, then you can add a rescrape frequency. But one thing that we haven't shown you is we can create folders. We can create product folder or something if you want to, but I don't see the need for it right now. I want to show you an integration, what an integration is. This is the integrations that I've already connected: the SharePoint, Airtable, and I've connected my Google Drive, Notion, Typeform. But you can connect a lot of other things too. If your client is using HubSpot, or if you want to connect to Google Sheets, Google Docs, OneDrive, and there is GitHub, there is Sugar CRM, Slack. I mean, you can see a lot of things. There is Shopify connection, which makes things way, way easier than what I've been doing right now. We have Monday.com. Go High Level is there too. Superpage, SharePoint, Zendesk, which is great for tickets and customer service. We can prompt AI to check the previous tickets and answer. We can eliminate a lot of questions if we do that. All in all, this is an excellent integration. We can add these integrations as a database also, and now AI will have access to all of that info. Imagine how powerful that is. If I select one of these integrations, it will actually be in the knowledge base also. I don't want to confuse AI in any way, so just leave it at that. Let's go to our chatbot and let's go to our pipelines, that is, and customer service chatbot is what we are working with. Now we have selected ecom. Perfect. And this is the query node. And what else do we need? We have the knowledge base. One thing that other providers are taking a lot, I mean, if you want to add a chat memory in some of the assistants, it is for some of the other providers, it's taking a lot of effort. But this is one of the easiest ways. All you need is to drag and drop. And also there is a data loader, where data collector, where you can collect emails, phone numbers, or whatnot. You can add a field which is, let's say, phone number, and we can add a field saying email. So we are not doing that. I already did that in my first video. I will link both of those videos down below. You can watch them if you feel like it. So we have a chat memory, we have the knowledge base reader, and if you look at the integrations, you also have integrations here to choose from. All the integrations that you have seen in the knowledge base folder can be found here. Let's go to LLMs. Yes, amazing list of LLMs. Let's use OpenAI for simplicity's sake. And what do we have? We have a system, we have a prompt, and we have an option to use our own API key. We have all of these different options to select from LLMs, and response is straightforward, right? Response will go to this output field. So what do we have in terms of prompt? I have prepared a prompt. For this example, I was just using Claude to come up with a simple prompt where it is a customer service assistant, where we have help them give store information, product help, and help them order. Cannot modify orders, but it can give tracking info. So I will enter that prompt here, and now we have the prompt section. What goes in prompt section? Right now we need to look at, okay, what are all the inputs that we are getting. First we have the question. Let's call this a question. To add variable, you can do this, and instead of variable we can call this question. We have a question, and then we insert a new variable, and let's call this context. We have question, we have context, and we have memory, which we are also doing. We have memory. I think that should be enough. If you look at let's add the text as well, and we have a question. Probably should have followed better text formatting there, but doesn't matter. The input goes to the question, and input also goes through the knowledge base, and we need to add this result as context. We are providing context to the LLM, and we also have memory, which is here. We have chat memory, so that the chatbot has context of what's going on, right? I think this is a really basic chatbot. Let's test this and see what do we get. So you can deploy these changes, and let's test the chatbot. Here there are three ways you can do: standard, chatbot, or voice. But yeah, I can use my microphone, but I don't want to do voice right now. Let's do chatbot. And if we go to our order tracking, we have order numbers through 1847 through 1866. So what I would like to do is maybe pick this, 1862, and see what the order status is. It should read processing. Let's go back, and status for order number 1862. The status of order number is 1862 is processing. Okay, yeah. I mean, these will change in time. I am only doing this because this is an example data. We can, as you can see, integrate the Shopify store itself, or you can, bring that data from Shopify store to make using great apps that are available using make.com or Streamline connector. There are a lot of things. So for product recommendation, we can, do that for voice assistant. We can use the same database for voice assistant. Once the changes are deployed, you can export the pipeline. Let's stop that clear chat, and we close it. Export pipeline as a chatbot name, customer service chatbot. I don't want to do a different name. Copy, export as chatbot, and we have input and output, auto deploy, create chatbot. So we have selected the pipeline, and we can name the chatbot. We can do it as a co-pilot or a chatbot. We can add a disclaimer like AI. You've been seeing this with all the frontier models, right? AI can make mistakes. Please double check, kind of. We can set limits. Message limit per conversation to 50. Allow stop generation button. This will add a button when AI is thinking you can stop. Allow clear chat. Yes. You can add user feedback. Enable voice in chat. That will let you have this button where they can use voice input. And for embed options, limit embed to domains, yes. Message senders, user, bot name assistant. For user, we can changes to anything that we want. Username, oh, let's call this user. And for our bot name, we can call it anything that we want. Input field placeholder, message and assistant is good. A processing request, we can add something creative like thinking or something. We can add custom prompts, for example, welcome message, what would you what can I help with, can be a good welcome message. And if you go to styling, wow, okay, we have a display image, we have a display name, we can call it text or something, and we can display font style italics, we can display description italics too, display center is good, display font size, if we can increase the font size, yeah, everything we can customize a lot. That is without no question about that. We can, if you our theme color is something different than, I mean, whichever your color is, you can definitely pick that. This looks unusual, but we are not deploying this anywhere, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's go back to where it was. Yeah, we have max width, input height, we have bottom bar. If you want to turn off powered by VectorShift, you can do so. I will leave it though, and I think you need a higher plan or something to do this. We can upload our own logos for most of this stuff. Instead of this logo, you can customize your own creative and assistant image URL. Yes, assistant my icon URL, or you can upload this as well. You can give a URL or upload a URL. Upload a file. Now that we have all of this, we need to deploy the changes, and in the export section you need to copy the embed code. You can copy the script or iframe. You can connect this to Slack if you can do this, a WhatsApp or an SMS Twilio, and we can just open this chatbot. Order, we selected 186662, right? Let's do 66. What does it say? Yeah, delivered. So if we look at 1866 delivered, so this is not the exact use case for this. No one will have their orders in their Excel sheet, but you get the idea. You can easily integrate, like I said, with your Shopify store or an Airtable that has all of this data. And now we go to the next tutorial, which is building. Let's go to the next. So we already have the customer service chatbot, right? I want to show you how we can build upon this, or let's do a voice one. Actually, let's go to pipeline. We can do something similar to this, but exactly similar to that as well. We will have the input node and we have the output node as always. And we have in the input node what needs to be changed. We need to pick audio, and LLMs doesn't really accept audio as one of the fields, right? So we need to process this input in some way. If we go to multimodal, you can see speech to text node. So you need to pass your audio to the speech to text model. We use either OpenAI Whisper or DeepGram. I'll leave it with Whisper. And then you have a text that now, a model, a large language model, for example, OpenAI, can process. Now we are doing something similar to what we have done previously, right? We have the knowledge base. For knowledge base, we are selecting our existing ecom knowledge base, and we have this will be the question, this will be the context. Now we can add memory like you've seen previously, or if you okay, let's add memory for this as well. So I haven't shown you something related to memory previously. I want to show that memory capability now. We have speech to text, perfect. Prompt can be something really simple or really complex depending on what you have. So we say I am using the same prompt that I did previously, or it can be just as simple as answer based on context. That is believe it or not, that is the only prompt that I have used in some of my internal chatbots. Please answer based on context. That's it. Obviously, please answer the question based on the context. That was the exact prompt we used. So let's rename as text store. The previous one was I've kind of changed it or forgot to update the actual prompt, and I realized that by the end of the tutorial I don't want to go back. I want to use the exact prompt that I was supposed to use it for the previous one. Now we have the prompt, we have the system prompt, but we need to add this additional variables coming from all of this, right? So let's do that. Now first would be the question. We have context, let's add context, and we have memory, let's add memory, and text goes to question, knowledge base reader to go to context, chat memory goes to memory, and response, as you can see, we have the text response, right? But this is a voice bot. We don't want a text response. We need audio response as well. And if you go to multimodal, there is one more step. This is text to speech. This is what essentially the AI models like the AI tools like VAPI, Synthflow are doing. They are using, they are converting our audio to speech to text models like Whisper or DeepGram, and then they send it to LLM, then change the text to speech. I am using OpenAI text to speech for this. So something is going wrong. Let us troubleshoot or try to find what that is. Yes, we need to connect this input to the knowledge base, and I think I missed that. Let's do that. Okay, this text needs to be connected with knowledge base. Okay, yeah, this should work. But let's do a different number now. What is the order status for 1865?
The current status for order number 1865, which includes a gaming headset for Omar Hassan, is processing. If you need further assistance or have any other questions, feel free to ask.
That is perfect. Do you offer international shipping?
Yes, we do offer international shipping. We ship to over 50 countries worldwide. International shipping costs and delivery times vary by location, and you can calculate shipping costs at checkout. Typically, international shipping takes 7 to 14 business days.
So who are your delivery partners?
Our delivery partners include major carriers such as FedEx, UPS, and USPS for domestic shipping. For international shipments, we use DHL and Royal Mail. Additionally, for same-day deliveries in select major cities, we utilize a local courier network.
Okay, thank you.
If you have any specific questions about shipping options or need further assistance, feel free to ask.
Deploy this as voice bot. Let's call this voice assistant, and yes, input output. Okay, as you can see, you can do a lot of customization. You can do instead of start recording, start speaking would be good. And listening button, listening good is instead of generating response, if we say thinking, that is much better. And for button color, I don't mind. For accent, let's do something different, something fun. Yes, let's see. What product recommendations do you have for someone looking for 14-hour battery?
For a product with a long battery life, I recommend the Ultrabook Pro. Here are the key details. Product name, Ultrabook Pro. Category, laptop. Price, $12.99. Description.
Obviously, you can do this much better than me, but with limited time, that's what we could come up with. This is a really powerful tool when you embed this somewhere, and we can export this. Obviously, you can, if you want to share this prototype with your client, you can do so here, or if you want to embed this on a snippet. If you need help embedding, I do that in my previous video. It's on my channel, and link will be in the description also. So the prompt itself is working really good, and if you want that prompt, you can find that in my free school community. If you have any questions regarding what we are building today, you can get in touch there. So for forms, I want to do something simple where we can create form, we can use the existing pipeline, or I don't think we have a pipeline that is good enough for a form. So we will create a new form from scratch. And for form, we have an input, we have an output, but the input needs to be a lot of inputs. So for example, we are doing a customer support form. Let's assume we are doing a customer support form. We have the first field name, instead of input one, we call this order number. For input 2, they describe the issue or issue, let's say, and input 3, we capture their email, so people know what they're dealing with, right? We have an email. And input 4, we can do a file, and this file is info, let's call it. So we have 4 inputs going into a form, meaning we need a way to process. We need an LLM, right? We will use OpenAI for this as well, and we will use this prompt, which is support ticket processing assistant. We will paste that. We will paste that here, and for the prompt, we will be taking in. So I renamed everything from variable to individual ones. We have the order number. Wait, for some reason it connected to issue. Why is that? Yeah, order number. Now issue to issue, email to email, additional info to info, context to context. The main issue here is the issue. So I want to connect this query to knowledge base. So we can send all of this extra info to wherever it wants to go, whether that's the output field that we are going to select. I don't want to show this to the customer. This is more of a form like functionality, right? So what does a really good form do? We will capture this info for our internal, we came back. We capture this info for our internal stuff, right? So let's say we are connecting this to our Slack and we are sending this entire info to our Slack channel. You just need to drag Slack from integrations and we can start by allowing it. And once we have given the permission, we can select the actions. We can send the message for channel name, which is which can be connected to my account. The message can be coming in from the response, and the channel name needs to be something where we can add a general text, which let's say convert to text, and I want this to be, let me see what channels I have on my Slack channel. So we would receive, I am creating a new channel so that, or we can do one in general, and I will say general, and I will connect this output to channel name. So imagine you can do something similar to, if you want to add Gmail, let's say, and you can add Gmail, and I already connected my Gmail. It's really straightforward, something like what we did with Slack, and we can connect this response going to Gmail. We say send email, and now we have three things. We have a body that they can send to, and we can duplicate this text, and we can say, okay, you need to send an email to, I don't want to resend, or we can send it to, so it doesn't matter. Let's do that. For subject, we can just use the issue as is. Let's say issue, where is issue, and we can connect issue to subject. And for recipients, I will add myself as a recipient. So we have this pipeline right now. Let's do this. Order number 1866, issue haven't, I don't know what I would receive actually, money at this.com, because we are not sending this we're not sending this anywhere. We can just use one of the placeholder files. That should be fine. Let's run this. And vector store, I haven't selected vector store, shoot. Okay, now deploy changes and run. Received my package. So I should have received something in general which says VectorShift ticket summary, priority level medium, order Nicole Bennett, verified delivery status. So it is also giving me the issue details, recommended actions, relevant responses, and notes. This is both emailed to my Gmail, and also, as you can see, as a ticket. So this is a really useful feature. Let me open my Gmail. Yes, we have received the ticket summary as well. So that is how we will deploy this as a form. This is now a pipeline, right? You can leave it export as a form, and for this form we call it customer support form. And there you have it, customer support form. The great thing about multi-page form is you can this is include required, sure, and I want to add more input pages. For example, you can do a lot of things. Input pages, we have add a new page, and in this new page I will remove one of this, or we can just drag this into, I believe, no, so we have 4, right, starting with order number. In page 2 we add issue and add a new page, and page 3 we add email, and page 4 we add additional info. So for output pages, what we can do is no output need add page. It's not available, right, for because we are sending this to, we can add a node where an output node, a text node showing thank you, your order has been, your response has been submitted, something like that. That is probably what makes us powerful, and we have already did spend a lot of time on this. I want to finish this soon. Since you already know how to add output buttons and stuff, you can do so yourself. I want to change the name to text store, and we have how can I assist you today? Yeah, sure. And deploy changes, and when we export it, again you can embed this form anywhere, and when you go to order number 1862, and next we have issue, not received order, and email test, let's say, additional info, upload a file. I will upload a thumbnail. Obviously you need to change this text a little bit. There is a lot of customization you can do, and now we reset the whole thing. But if you look at the latest email that I received, let me refresh this. Not received an order, 1862 Rachel, and it is giving me all the steps. And the same thing happened for in my Slack as well. I've received a message. So that's for the form. When we go to VectorShift again, let's go back and show you what a portal is. This is amazing, right? So when you look at portal, we call, doesn't matter what we call it, but for chatbots, you can select the chatbots you like. Okay, I want a customer service chatbot. For voice bot, I want voice assistant. For form, I want customer support form, and I will create a portal. And if we just leave everything as is and just deploy it with the name and deploy changes, if you try and, obviously you can do the styling, the logos, the portals, all the stuff. If you export it and open the portal link, you can access all of this from here. And for people who want to do a chatbot, they can have a conversation, and let's say if they want a voice bot, they can start speaking, or if they want to submit something, a form, they can do so. And we can add search, we can add multiple chatbots. It doesn't have to be one chatbot. We can do for one for product tracking, one for order, order tracking and product recommendation. So a lot of great stuff, fun stuff that you can build with this portal. And the best part, if you watched my Bolt video previously, you can embed the whole thing, whole portal after a paywall and make this a proper SaaS. If you can sell this for creators where they can create assistants for for course content, that is so powerful. and you can protect this with either password directly, or you can let users sign up, proper authentication tutorial I covered in Bolt. If you want to know how, watch this video next, and it will show you how to create authentication and then embed this inside Bolt. Then you're good to go. You have a fully functioning SaaS.